Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Last night, the Royal Mint launched the first images of the new portrait for King Charles, which will start to be minted on our coins. They also released 3 images of the memorial coin set for the late Queen as well. They're going to be released on Monday as well. For those of you that are watching in the future, that's the 3rd of October 2022, which is a really quick turnaround for these new coins. In today's video, we're going to be looking at these new coins, but also drawing our subscriber giveaway, so stay tuned for that. As expected, he's facing left on the coin, which is the opposite way to his mother, the late Queen Elizabeth II. This is a tradition which dates as far back as the rule of Queen Mary II and King William III, although it was mostly followed by King James II, who looks left on his coins with the exception of his coins made from tin. This tradition was then followed for almost a quarter of a millennia until we get to King Edward VIII, who, like his father King George V, wanted to face left on his coinage for a more flattering image, with his side parting breaking up what would have been a solid fringe of hair. Edward VIII abdicated before his coinage began mass production though, and his younger brother became King George VI, and he also faces left. The rationale being that their father faced left, Edward should have faced right, even though he wasn't planning on doing that, so George VI, being the 3rd successive monarch to face left, does actually restore the order, I guess. But anyway, King Charles has continued the tradition, as you can see. The designer of his portrait is Martin Jennings, who is a British sculptor. His most notable work includes the statues of John Betjeman, a poet, journalist and broadcaster, which is at St Pancras Station, Charles Dickens, the author, in Portsmouth, George Orwell, the novelist outside the BBC's broadcasting house, and many more. Charles III has broken with tradition somewhat, as from the information released so far, the king did not physically sit for this portrait as far as we can tell. It seems to have been created from images of the king rather than an in-person visit. This has happened before, as the last portrait of the 5 which featured on coins of Queen Elizabeth II was also created from images rather than sitting for the artist. And as we've all seen, King Charles III's schedule has been rather jam-packed recently. It is also interesting to see, as we kind of expected, that his name appears on the coin as Charles, rather than the Latin version of his name, which both King Charles I and Charles II's names appeared on their own coinage, perhaps chosen to project a more modern approach to his rule and his coins, or maybe just to distance himself somewhat from 2 monarchs who, let's say, he isn't going to want to replicate the rules of. The other noticeable change is a slight change in the Latin phrasing around the obverse of the coin. Charles III is self-explanatory. DG Rex is the abbreviation of De Gratia Rex, or to us lay people, by the grace of God, King. On the coins of Queen Elizabeth II, of course, the Rex is substituted for Reg, short for Regina, which is Latin for Queen. This is probably the least surprising change on the coin though. FD is an abbreviation of Fidei Defensor for the King, or would have been Fidei Defensatrix for the Queen, both meaning defender of the faith, given that the monarch is also the head of the Church of England. A slight change in the title, but not one you'd notice on the abbreviation of the coins. The king also follows tradition by not being crowned on his coins. The last of our kings to be pictured crowned on his coins was King Charles II, although some more recent kings have been pictured crowned on coins for use in the British Empire overseas. Queen Victoria and Elizabeth II too have been pictured crowned on their coins, but for kings it's much more traditional for them to be bareheaded or at most sporting a laurel crown. The portrait was approved by the king, as is tradition. His late mother signed off each of the coins designed during her reign, and only once sent one back for changes to be made. This was the 25p crown to mark her silver jubilee, as in the original design she was depicted incorrectly riding her horse. We also got a first look at the 3 coins in the memorial coin set for the late Queen Elizabeth II, and these are the coins that are going on sale on Monday. The first is this 50p coin. What is really exciting is that the Royal Mint have confirmed that this coin will be entering circulation as well. We have no idea how many will be minted and how common it will be, or how quickly you'll be able to find it in your change as of now. They will be distributed subject to demand, with the Royal Mint providing cash centres across the country with the coins, which are then sent out to banks, post offices and shops. The Platinum Jubilee was the latest release to start appearing in our change, but they were expedited into circulation through post offices, and there's been no confirmation as of yet whether this will be the case with the new memorial coin as well. The Platinum Jubilee 50p, which was the first 50p to mark a royal occasion, this memorial coin being the second. The Pride 50p is the most recent minted coin that went into circulation, but very few have been found so far. Again, it will all depend whether the new Memorial 50p will jump the queue to get into circulation quickly, or will trickle out into our hands naturally over time. The design on the 50p may look familiar too, because it is a recreation of the coronation crown released in 1953 to mark the Queen's coronation. The reverse would again be used in 1960 to mark the British exhibition. It was created by Edgar Fuller and Cecil Thomas. The latter of the two also created a portrait for the Queen used on coins abroad. The design features 4 quarterings of the royal arms, with the 3 lions representing England, Lion Rampant Scotland and the Harp Ireland. Wales is missing from the royal arms because when it was first created it was thought that Wales was an integral part of the Kingdom of England, and so it doesn't get its own billing in the royal arms. But between the shields you can see the national flowers of the constituent parts of the UK, the Rose of England, the Shamrock of Ireland, the Leek of Wales, and finally the Thistle of Scotland. So there is a bit of Welsh representation on this coin. Another coin in this memorial set is a £5 coin. It features 2 new portraits of the Queen. To the left, a young portrait of her depicted wearing the George IV state diadem. She's also pictured wearing this diadem in her 3rd portrait on coinage, which was designed by Raphael Maclouf, as well as her 5th portrait by Jodie Clark, so this crown should be familiar to coin collectors already. To the right you can see a more mature portrait of the Queen after decades of service and experience. In this portrait she's wearing another crown which we have seen the Queen wear on coins before. This time the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, which was present on her 2nd portrait by Arnold Machin, and also the 4th portrait by Ian Rank Broadley. To the top of the design we can see the St Edward's crown, sometimes referred to as the coronation crown, which is one of the most important pieces in the crown jewels, and considered a holy relic. It has only left the Tower of London a couple of times in the last 70 years, during the Queen's coronation in 1953, and then in 2013 it was displayed at Westminster Abbey to mark the 60th anniversary of the coronation. It will, if precedent is followed, be used in the coronation of King Charles III next year. This design was created by John Bergdahl, one of the most prolific coin designers, with a list of previous designs that span multiple denominations and years, with a specialty in heraldry. Before we get on to the last coin in this set, I promised you our subscriber giveaway draw, with a 1-ounce silver-proof Yale of Beaufort from the Royal Tudor Beast collection being our latest prize. The winner's name will be appearing on the screen, and if you're lucky enough to be our winner, then do get in touch via the email address in the description of the video. We won't contact you in the comment section of a video to claim a prize. I am sure everyone will join me in congratulating our lucky winner, and if you didn't win this time then do stay tuned, because once we get to 6,000 subscribers we'll be doing another giveaway, and I can confirm when we get to 10,000 subscribers there's going to be a really special prize up for grabs. The third coin is another crown-sized coin which again features another new portrait of the Queen, also created by John Bergdahl. It is again a depiction of a mature and experienced monarch, this time in side profile, facing the same way that she did on the obverse of her coinage throughout her reign. Surrounding her portrait, you can see laurel sprigs tied together with a ribbon and roses protruding from the design as well. This third coin finishes the memorial set, which is sure to gather huge interest, not just being minted to honour our late Queen, but also being the first coinage with our new king to feature on the obverse as well. Now, our range of this coin will be going live on Monday at the same time as the Royal Mint, so you can beat the queue with the Britannia Coin Company. It's really nice to see this memorial coin set, which we'd speculated about in a previous video. It's also really exciting to get a first glimpse at the King's portrait on coins, an image which over time we're going to be as used to seeing as we did his late mother's. The memorial coin set is a fitting tribute to a life that has been spent in service to her nation, and the cherry on top of the cake is the fact that the 50p will be going into circulation, so we will be able to find it in your change in the future. Let me know in the comments which is your favourite design out of these three coins and what you think of the new King's portrait on coins too. Be sure as well to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's free to do and means you won't miss out on any of our future uploads or giveaways. You can also follow us though on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of pictures of our coins. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We've got our shop and online store and a whole bunch of blogs on our website with more information on some of these topics. But I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.